Because we are live. Welcome to Michigan Bros Grow Show, episode 220. Always climbing. How's everybody doing here? Cheers. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Got the panel here tonight. Spartan Grown, Dankman Dan, Fragoli, Becca Meets Cannabis with Rosemary Oasis and Red Center Farm. He's there, but
he's not here, actually.
he's not there.
Yeah, he's hunting.
In spirit.
Oh, that's what he said.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
hunting.
hunting. He's
Sad.
out with communing with the squatches right now.
Yep,
Yeah.
he just got there. He let me know he was unpacked and all good. So
Spartan,
Yeah,
you look like you're ready to
crazy.
go. You got your blaze orange on and looks like maybe some camo up top.
That looks
This is
like Gator
my-
gear.
This
I
was
get
a
my
Michigan
blaze
Harvest
on.
rally, man, at the Capitol this year. Oh, and this was I just got this actually handed to me. Shout out to Steve over at Mechanico when I went out there.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, though,
Let's go for
they
the
do
new
have some classy ass attire, man. Mechanical. Their
I forgot
socks
about that one.
thing are classy.
But that's not
Missing-
ours.
It's missing
This
the
time,
Michigan.
this time, that's not ours.
Yeah, he told me that. Yeah,
It
he
was-
told me that too.
they just put it on there.
That's why I didn't show it off. I was like, oh, it's not.
But yeah, he got these. He's a hunter,
I
but
thought it was your guys'.
he went like a million times this season. He didn't get anything. The closest he got was shaking bow because he saw a buck, and he said the arrow came off the bow.
Was that on his
And-
property?
I think that's all he does. Yeah, he just
Nice.
goes to his property, but yeah, we got those. I told him I want some beanies, whatever you guys call them up here, winter caps.
Oh, yeah. that'd be
beanies.
cool.
Yeah, that's what the normal people call them, beanies. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard somebody call him something else. I was just like, I call him a beanie.
I'd sport one if you
Skull
guys
cap,
try
maybe.
to hook up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe a
good
skull
skull cap.
cap. Yeah, but yeah.
I need to get me one of them badass Fragoli hats, though. Hopefully, I can.
Me
still
too.
put
I keep
them up on
fucking
the-
forgetting every time I
on
see you for girl.
18.
I need to get one.
Yep, I'll be there. 18th Lansing.
Oh shit!
Excellent, man.
This Saturday.
For
I
sure.
forgot.
Shout
I
out
got,
to Nick D. It'll be his
I was
first
gonna
day.
say.
His first day of vending there in Nick D.
Excellent.
Is it?
Yeah,
Shepherd
I got some
Farm?
prototypes.
Oh, did you come out to see it today?
No, yeah, yesterday or the other day, Friday or Saturday.
Look at
That's one
That's
of the
his
new
logo.
bags. This is papaya S1. It's one of the papayas I like. He hunted when he moved here, had it.
that. Is he called it Green Shepherd? Is that what he's calling it? Green Shepherd?
Yeah.
Yep, Green Shepherd.
Yeah.
Those are his two dogs, basically.
And I processed some of his product for RSO too, so that was
Yeah.
cool.
He brought some Detroit runs, which I've had, it's sweet. But then the Cherry Garcia, which is
Tell
not
me,
labeled.
tell me about that one.
Cherry Garcia, this one's dank.
I had his Cherry Garcia several years ago, and he lost it. This is his new pheno, so real curious about it.
So this one's like, to me, this is like candy cherry.
Oh,
This
man,
is
that's
this
that
is like
fun.
candy cherry, and look, let me get it focused. It's frosty as fuck,
Beautiful work, brother.
but yeah, and it's beautiful. It reeks. I'm gonna grind some up here. I cleaned my rig this weekend, so
Yes, I will be doing
yeah.
dabs today.
Not my rig, but my flower rig, I should say. Yeah, I got my some dabs over there. Yeah, everybody, make sure you're in live chat.
So I was able to get my freeze dryer repaired and get that thing up and running.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Did
What
you
was
have
it?
to, or did the professional have to repair it? Like,
I did some tech support with them, but basically I found the issue on myself by myself.
nice.
Remedy
That's not
just-
saying much for the damn company.
What was it?
No, at this point, man. Hey, I got $100 off of the $400 in parts I had. They sent me back, gave me $100 credit.
Oh, the
Machine running, and it's
100
actually
bucks
run-
off of parts you had to buy that weren't
Yeah,
fucking,
that
product
already
that
paid
did
for
work.
it. They
Yeah,
cut
that's
it back.
great. Wow.
and my machine's running better now than it did before. It's drying.
Oh man, come on.
Yeah, so
Didn't
I'm
you
real-
already order the other one?
Yeah, so we have another.
Yeah,
one.
So you
I'm so
Two,
interested
bro.
to see
That's
the,
sick.
Well,
I'm so
okay,
interested to see the competitor, man. If that how it runs.
Yeah.
compared.
superior hopes for the Stay Fresh just by all the reviews, the high quality build, just their engineering is better in this. The way they have the vacuum pump system, evidently it's more efficient to pull vacuum from the top of the chamber versus Harvest Right pulls it from the bottom of the chamber. It's not an efficient way. Several little things like that add up. They actually have moisture probes that you can put in your material that will stop the machine when the material is dry versus just running for a
that's
reset
cool.
time, which will speed up drying. So many other things. What we're going to do is we're going to strictly use the new freeze dryer for food for right now. And then if we have issues with the Harvest Right, we'll definitely have a backup. Because what we're seeing is anytime we run any type of food through the freeze dryer, we're getting a lot of comments back that the food is tasting like cannabis. And, it's probably just residual VOCs that are stuck in that chamber that we just can't get out. And we're nose blind and we can't taste it. So if we have a separate freeze dryer for food, we should eliminate
if I bring, let's say I bring 2 sandwiches to work, I don't eat them. I only eat one, but then I don't want to waste the other sandwich, so I'm gonna take it home. So I'll take it home, and I'll open it and eat it, and it tastes, every bite tastes like a strong edible, even though it's never touched by, there's no bud in it. It literally can just, like, usually that's like a harvest day it happens, but it almost makes me just be like, I don't want an edible, like I want my peanut butter and jelly, and now it's a little weird tasting.
Yeah, because it's not a taste that everybody enjoys, and you're trying to process things that aren't medicated. You don't want people to experience.
So what was the issue on the Harvest Right that you found?
Okay, so my initial problem was a vacuum issue. It wouldn't pull vacuum, so I addressed that problem. Then I had a problem where the shelving units weren't reading temperature. It was having a bad.
There's temperature sensors on each shelf?
Yeah, there's these thermistic sensors that have to be connected. And basically, she thought I had a bad relay board, but in reality, it was just a bad pigtail on the back of the machine. But I got it up and running. And, man, we've been running hash nonstop ever since it's been going. Nice. I've washed, let's see, Primal Punch, Gorilla Glue. This morning we washed Smash Cake, the real Smash Cake. And then we have some other contract work lined up this week. So it's going to be busy as fuck.
Yeah.
That GG4 looked immaculate.
It's fire. I can't wait to show you guys. I think you've had it before, but yeah, it turned out pretty
nice.
Good.
I see.
Yeah.
Is that a pendant or rosin?
That is rosin, but it's pretty fresh. I just pressed this one last night. This is just my personal jar, so still a little fresh, but it doesn't really batter up much. It doesn't get dry and like other rosins, but it's a good one.
Becca, what are you trimming down there?
I'm trimming all week for the craft affair.
Nice.
This is Citrique.
That's a big old like round nug.
Yeah, like in the middle of the branch too. This is not a top.
Yeah.
It gets pretty
easy trimmer though. I mean, it looks kind of easy. I mean, it's got
super easy. It's more greasy than like, sticky. So it you just have to barely
scissor hash.
Yeah.
That's sometimes a benefit. I haven't trimmed anything in a minute. I just realized that I like it.
I've been trimming Orange Dream Haze, and it's so orangey this time. It's so good. I'm loving it.
Nice.
Did you smoke any of that outdoor Mac that I gave you? It's so non-Mac to me.
It's not Mac-y.
Weird.
It's weird.
No.
I don't have
can't explain it.
I wonder if Quibbly peed on it.
Well, I would hope not, but I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Yeah, he was very exploratory. He's an exploratory dog.
Yeah.
I kept like, Boris should be like, I'd be like, come on in. And he'd come. And then, but Quibbly will look at you and be like, I don't know what goes through his brain, but he'll look at you and you'll just be like, whatever, dude. And the next thing you know, he's wandering he's checking out everything.
So I just went through this between getting off the other show and before getting on this show. Is I let him out, and I just went through that whole song and dance. And what it is you yell Boris, and he's like, "All right, I'm coming in because I might get a treat," and he'll come in.
Yeah,
that's how I've trained him, you know.
Yeah.
Like Quibbly, on the other hand, he's super chubby and fat, and he doesn't care, and he's just trying to go out there and root through the old rotten tomatoes and stuff now that have been killed by the frost.
Yeah,
he's getting food anyway. So you call him and he looks at you like, what? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna come get me? Or,
I'm not coming out there.
Yeah, he's like he's waiting for you to go back in the house, and if you go back in the house, and he's like, wait, fuck it, I don't have to do shit.
Yeah, he's a little...
But if you come out there and you get pissed, like you come after him, then his ass will start running back up. So you gotta go all the way out on the fucking porch and start going down the stairs, and his ass will start running up there like he's in a hurry down.
Yeah. Oh, he's a little sausage. It's hilarious. He's like this big. He's really this big.
He's like a little.
I had them going. I had to take care of him, is what we're talking about. I took care of Spartan's dogs this weekend. I had them go on the couch, and Quibbly was just jamming his head into the blanket and into the pillow. Like, they were so excited. It was fun.
Hey, Dan, I've got a question for you. Going back to the harvest, right, and these freeze dryers. I've always wanted to know, as someone that doesn't do bubble hash, water hash, solventless, whatever you want to call it.
What do you want to call it?
All of the things. It's hash, as far as I'm concerned.
Solventless.
Okay, well, let's call it hash. I think we all can agree on that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Just a certain type, but
extract.
It's an extract. It's a concentrate.
Concentrate. I like that one.
So we know these harvest rights can get expensive, like in the thousands of dollars. And if we want to do things right, and maybe we got to set a budget, we're going to budget for one of those. What else are we talking that we need? If we were maybe a caregiver and we wanted to jump into the water hash, solventless making, rosin pressing side of things, can we kind of get a list of equipment here and maybe what that budget would look like?
Okay, so I initially thought the freeze dryer was going to be the most largest expense, but in reality, it was the building of the cold room that was the largest.
AC is probably more than the freeze dryer once installed anyway.
It's maintaining the cold temps is really key to getting the most bang for your buck, in the hash solventless world.
And that temperature is what?
And I like 34. If you can get down to 34, 32 is great. If you can, we can, believe it or not, our water temperature is between 29, 28 degrees typically when we're working our products in the cold room. So yeah, I'd say beyond the freeze dryer, the cold room is probably the most important aspect to the processing, not only post harvest, but also, or pre-harvest, but post harvesting of them. That separation, meaning after you press, when you're doing your collection, when you're in that cold room, it makes working with that material much easier than when it's in a taffy state and hard to manipulate.
So is your rosin presses in that cold room?
Yes.
So okay, so it's
press in the cold room, and typically you'll see some people do some pulling and stuff and do some homogenization. I think you're going to get a better homogeneous product if you can taffy pull it before just jarring it up and doing a stir later on and after the cure. You asked about materials. What would you need? You need some bubble bags. That's first and foremost. You got to have the
what
bubble
size
bag.
We go with?
That depends on how much product you're looking to process. I'd start, if you're going to start with 5 gallon, don't go with 8 bags, just do a simple,
Well, say I'm doing minimum, maybe like, maybe I want to do like 1,000 gram plus batches. What would I need?
5 gallon.
Okay.
5 gallon.
So what's the next step up of that, and how many grams per batch are you doing?
Let's see, we run 20 gallons, I work on 20-gallon containers. This morning, I think we probably washed 8,000 grams.
In one 20 gallon?
No, it took a couple washes in those, and each run and this we did cake, smash cake today. We were getting 8 washes per batch, so we were filtering those 8 times. Or I'm sorry, 6 times per batch. We did 2 batches, so they were about 4,000 grams per batch. Hand wash.
Oh, okay, so 4,000 grams at a time.
Yes.
Okay.
In the 20 gallons.
All right, so you got your bags. You need some sort of, I guess, agitating.
So it's a bubble
Yeah,
man.
paddle.
Do some bubble bags, some bubble.
You know,
man
I would steer clear of, you know, people want to use drills and these paint mixtures, and they're thinking they're getting a better product, and it's not really, man. You want less agitation and more separation. You know, you don't want plant matter. I'm not looking for green water. You know, if I'm seeing green water, I know I'm working the product too hard, and you're gonna have.
So you're using paddles?
Yeah, we use paddles.
Like
you
a
know, I
stainless
have
steel
washing
one, or-
machines, but I choose not to use the washing machines personally. You know, I'm not in this for the lazy man effect. You know, I'm in this for the boutique, the craft cannabis, or the, you know, craft effect for it. So when you're getting stuff from me, this is all hand washed and, you know, all blood, sweat, and tears in it.
Bubble Man was saying last night that they can wash sometimes up to 4 hours. So
Probably.
that's has to be automated, right? You're not sitting there for 4
Yeah,
hours.
they're running machines.
You'd be
and stuff.
jacked.
Don't get me wrong. I've ran, you know, 20-gallon machines and stuff, and you know they do extract a lot more, but I'm not going for quantity, so to speak. I'm going for quality, and you know,
So there's the difference in quality is that significant that it's not worth it.
I do believe that. Yeah, you're gonna once you start seeing green matter and green water, you definitely are getting, you know, contamination in your bags. You know, you're gonna filter most of it out, but you're gonna get a dirtier hash.
What if they invent a machine that just simulates hand paddling?
Yeah, it's just like a robot arm. Just
I'm just thinking like that's what Joe's doing. He's just trying to make it nice. Yeah.
You know, and I'm not down.
I don't know. I can't.
Machines, and you know, those type of machines, they're out of my league, so I can't even.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I know. Yeah. That
it
too.
could be something as simple as just having a circulating pump, like a sump pump, that was screened in, so it wasn't sucking in any of the material. That was just making the circulating the water, making that vortex, and that could be something as simple as that.
That'd be awesome. You know, and actually, I go through a lot of collection pumps. You know, submersible pumps. When I'm moving these cold temperature waters, a lot of these pumps you get aren't made for that. So, you know, you got to invest in a quality pump that can handle these colder temps when you're running, you know, 20 degrees. They're
like a Danner mag.
Yeah.
Same thing went with my sous vide. Like I used to go through 2-3 sous vides a year because they're not made to run that long. You know what I mean? And operate for as much as work as I'm putting them through, until I invested one that was 4 or 5 times more than the best ones I was buying, you know, and you know, knock on wood, it's still running.
And you know, honestly, you don't need a freeze dryer to create some beautiful rosin or bubble hash. Cornfred Dread, you know him there. He makes some beautiful hash with just microplaning and air drying. You know, it's all about technique, and I'm not about that because I've never ran that route, but he does some amazing work, and it looks just like freeze dried hash, you know. So if you can dial in your drying techniques and microplaning and all that, you can definitely come up with some great stuff without that investment.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful though, because this is something I just learned from Bubble Man. I'm gonna keep bringing up Bubble Man. I'm gonna keep name dropping him because he joined the GML team.
That. Congratulations!
And that's huge, man. I think that's huge.
Some winners on that team.
Yeah, but he was saying, which I thought this was interesting, that if you look under the microscope at hash that was made from microplaned hash, it's all tore up.
Oh,
like the trikes themselves. He's like, that's because somebody had asked him about, I can't remember what he was really talking about. He was saying that they're more tough than normal, the trichomes, than what you would think.
And also, like the density of, I forget how he was saying it, but didn't he say something like the microplane was like you'd need like twice as much of it to get the same amount of cannabinoids as the other, like the full heads, or I don't something like
Yeah,
that.
because he showed the pictures of the two pictures of the. So he showed a picture of like the full melt that was screened, and it was all heads, right? So it was really dense with just all heads in the picture. And then it showed a picture of the screened head, the hash that's been, I think it was microplaned or something. Maybe it was something else. Anyhow, it was just like all kinds of contaminant and other stuff. So there's very few. When you were looking at just heads, there was way less than that was in the first picture, and that was his point. You know, as far as quality matters.
For sure. I'm sure there's some sort of degradation when you're raking them heads across any
exposing
type of
them,
blade, That's basically what it is. It's just a micro razor blade. But it's a way to somebody who's not able to get the freeze dryer that still can create a quality.
Get that dry, yeah.
I never had luck when I tried to air dry, man. My stuff would always get moldy, and I waste so much product trying to learn that.
All right, so we have our bags. We have probably like a stainless steel paddle. What are we putting those bags in? You said a 5 or a 20-gallon bucket, but like
I would recommend a food grade bucket.
Like one of those white brute containers or something.
Yeah, white brute ones. Try to get a food grade if you can. Don't use your paint bucket.
Jesus.
Yeah, just try to be cautious because some of them. Petroleum products can leach out into your water and contaminate your hash.
I mean, is stainless steel the most ideal?
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe insulate it.
Yeah, you're getting very, very costly. You get into stainless steel. Another way to help preserve them temps is insulating with jackets. There's jacketing systems out there you can buy. I don't want to name drop any.
Just get that like shiny Mylar looking bubble wrap stuff and go around a couple times. You know what I mean? Like
right on. Yeah. Actually, because I have a 55-gallon holding tank for my cold water, and I use these great big moving blankets to wrap around that, or else it'll just start sweating all over.
Condensates like crazy. You're slipping around in your hash room.
Yeah, I use those, because I can't afford a big old neoprene jacket for that. I think it's $1,000 for that jacket.
Yeah.
But there's jackets you can get out there. Start small, work your way up. You need bags, you need a stir, you need a collection device, which could be just a spoon. It's best to keep that spoon cold for collections because the trichomes are going to release off that spoon a lot easier than it is warm.
Well, again, if we're starting with a cold room and the whole room's like 34 degrees or something, like that should kind of be good enough, right?
But but I still keep that spoon inside
like
my ice water container.
Okay.
To keep maintaining that coldness, because believe it or not, your hands will transfer heat along that metal, and
for sure
it really will warm up.
Well, you're not insulating your handle too? Come on.
But I have a couple different paddles. I got some paddles with holes and then just regular flat paddles, but they're all stainless steel. And I get my stuff off of like
Webstront store.
Webstront. Try to steer anything that is cannabis related because I'm so anti cannabis tax. It's just crazy. A lot of these products we use are similar in the brewing industry, and if you are looking for like stainless steel vessels, I suggest you search out the brewing industry for one, because you're going to get a much better rate than you would for the same vessel that's attached to cannabis.
Great tips. Now we were talking. Say we are starting with a 5-gallon bucket. How much water? You said you got like a cold water reservoir almost, and so I'm just trying to picture this. We got a cold water reservoir.
Yep.
And then that's going into our 5-gallon bucket that's got our bags in it. And then that water's got to go somewhere else, right?
Yeah. So then, so we take our water, we put it into our mix, whatever material we have. We're going to want to let that sit in that material. If it's whole plant fresh frozen, at least 15 minutes. You want that water to permeate the cells of the material and kind of just start soaking down. If you have a dry material, you're going to want to let that soak time be anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, even upwards to an hour, to really loosen up that material. After it's loosened up, you can go ahead and start doing your manipulations with your paddles or whatever your device is. I suggest a real short 5-6 minute washes for your first washes, and then do your collection. And you're going to, at that first collection, you're going to get your most pristine, ripest heads. And usually we separate that alone and call that what we call that a first pull. And that's like your higher echelons.
Your head stash.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that real low quantity?
Yeah, it can be. Typically, I see a higher yields on the second pull than I do the first pull because I'm agitating a lot harder this time. The water's done already soaked and permeated all the cells of the material. You know what I'm saying? So we've opened up the plant matter and now it can release a little bit more on that second pull. So generally, you're going to see a larger return on your second pull than you would your first one. And you run it. I run my second pull like 8 minutes now instead of that, 5 to 6.
Okay.
So they gradually increase as the wash cycles degrade the amount of trichomes we're collecting. Let's say.
How much water are you using per?
In a 5-gallon bucket, I would want that 3/4 full. Try not to use too much ice to where you're damaging your material and creating that green sloth, and you don't want a green slurry. Particularly, if you can keep that wash basin, whether it's a 5-gallon bucket or a 20-gallon, what have you, if you can keep that cold, preferably in a room or jacketed, you can use less ice in that material, and that's going to give you a cleaner product in the end when you start pulling. With a jacketed system, you can actually do iceless. So we do iceless washes in ours. So we're taking our 28-degree water from our holding tank, moving it to our wash basin, and that wash basin is maintaining that temperature, up to probably about 33 degrees. And so we're able to get a cleaner wash without the ice.
That's why
sorry I'm jumping all over the place here.
Yeah, but for those reasons, I'm surprised I'm not seeing more operations, like especially the bigger ones that can afford it, with water chillers and not even using ice at all.
All them Ospreys and stuff definitely could be probably run without ice, but they're probably going for mass quantity. They want the most they can get. So, like I said, I'm operating at home for quality. That's our number one goal is quality, because if the caregivers don't want it, it doesn't matter how much I got, and it doesn't do no good sitting in the freezer.
Yes. Okay. So we've got our
Well, you can still smoke it, and that's good.
Yes.
So we've got basically 3 different size or thereabouts, water vessels. We got our bags, we got our paddles. So once we've drained it. No, you said we're scooping it out, but I see I see people all the time in Instagram videos spraying their bags with what looks like you might spray your plants with. What's going on there?
So when you are doing your collection and you're washing this material, you're going to get a foam or a froth, and you're going to want to push that foam through the wash bags and actually filter that out. You're actually washing the hash when you see them doing that with the spray technique. They're actually washing all them smaller stalks and stuff. They're pushing them through to the next bag because in that prize bag, whether it be your 90 micron or your 73 micron, or some it's big fat heads, it's the 120 micron. You're always pushing it down to the next level. So yeah, your prime bags, like I said, are your 120, your 90, your 73, and then your definitely lower grade small heads and stalks would be caught in your 45 bag. So when you see them doing that, they're washing heads through, just cleaning up the hash basically.
Okay, so then that's the point at which you're scooping it out, and then you're probably, I see him tapping it on one of those shelves. What is that? Maybe some parchment or something down there?
Yeah, some people use parchment if it's going to a freeze dryer. Yeah, now you're scooping it out of your bag. I like to scoop it when it's like a pancake batter consistency, because that lets me level it out on my trays evenly. If I create mounds in my trays, then they don't tend to dry evenly, and it increases the dry time. So the smoother I can get it on the tray, the better for me. If you're doing just a regular air dry, you're probably going to want to pull it out of the bags and take it to a 25 micron pressing screen and start pressing that through the 25 micron onto some either cardboard or paper towel.
So it sounds like we might need another res outside our hash room. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just cold water.
Or in there.
Yeah, so you definitely
So it
are
stays
going to
cold.
at least 50 to 100 gallons, depending on how much you're going to process.
What we should do is put it outside. Put the res outside.
What are we gonna do in the summer?
Who cares about that? We don't run hash in the summer. We
What?
we got other
What
people
is the
run hash.
point of having a cold room?
Yeah.
We'll use the BHO.
That's absurd. You're
We'll run the
innocent.
BHO. We'll run the
But the
BHO.
cold
Yeah,
room
that's
can
true.
opt as your dry room because you got some badass controls in that cold room. That was
Yeah.
always my thing when I wasn't hashing, I was drying in that cold room because that had the most better controls in the grow room.
Well, we might end up doing that. That would be cool.
Yeah, it
Or
was
more room
very,
in there,
very
other than the
tempting.
freezer. But,
Yeah, that can
but
be
yeah,
our / dry room, and then our dry room that's now is just going to be a freezer room because we're going to have fresh frozen in there. And we're going to have freezers of just concentrate.
fridges.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we've loaded up these shelves full of our hash, and
Yes.
say we're doing, we got 5-gallon buckets, and we've got maybe 2,000 grams we want to wash. You know, I don't know, maybe if we're doing 4, 5, 6 washes per batch, I don't know how long would that take?
Okay, so today,
maybe.
you know, we did 8,000. I started this morning at 8 o'clock this morning, and we got done washing at about 12:30 this afternoon. So,
Okay, so 5.5 hours.
It's a long process, but you know, there's a soak time you gotta give in there, and we do some bullshitting and stuff too, and smoke some dabs and stuff. But yeah, it's a long process. You know, we don't try to rush it. You know, it's a fun process. So
It's an art, you know what I mean? It's like every step of the way.
Yeah, you know, the guy today with me, you know, he was the grower, and I was letting him do all the pulls. I was doing the washing because I didn't like the way his washing technique. I think if we would have continued, he would have lost on his yield. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of took over the washing and did the hand washing while he did all the scooping, and it was a very efficient little job. And it's nice to have the grower there so they can actually see the returns and stuff. So you actually met the guys before. His name was Connor. He was down at Vehicle City with me there. We did the smash cake again. So that stuff turned out fabulous, by the way, man. Oh my gosh. It's got this melon terp on the back end of it. I'm gonna have to get you some, Spartan. It's stupid.
It sounds super interesting. Yeah, I like that melon.
It's a Meg grower strain. So
nice.
Okay, so now we've put it into the freeze dryer. How long? We spent 5.5 hours washing. Now we've got it into our super expensive, often broken McFlurry machine. How long does it sit in there for?
Okay, so once it goes into the freeze dryer, you know, I pre-chill that freeze dryer, so the chamber is already at -40 when we load the hash in. So that's a jump start to the process. We give it like a 6-hour freeze, and then we'll do about a 20-hour dry. And being with this Harvest Right, that's just the way their system sets up. I'm sure sometimes in that 20 hours it could have been dry earlier, but I really don't have no way to check that unless we actually stop the process, open the door to look. And once you interrupt the process for that freeze drying, there's a whole 1 hour wait period you got to do before the system will restart back up. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. So typically,
like eating, and then you got to wait to get back in the pool.
Typically, about 24 hours after you get done washing, we can go ahead and start collecting the hash from the trays, which is dried. And what I do from them, it comes out like in a really hard cookie, and it's frozen, kind of sort of. We dry at 35 degrees, so we chop up that cookie. And then I run it through a sifter, and we break it back down to trichome head size again. And then I collect that in 2 bags, depending on the amount of hash we're washing. Generally, we're pressing out of 2x4 or 2x6 bags, 2-inch by 6-inch bags, and we fill that roughly with about 15 grams of material. I found myself, if I'm running more than 15 to 20 grams, I think I lose yield in the press myself. So I would rather spend money on bags than lose trichomes in the bags on a larger
For sure.
press.
Yeah.
So we do a double 25 micron bag and then a 160 bag. So we do a triple bag. There's a technique you can use called pre-greasing. That's going to break open a lot of the heads and get them ready. Not really break them open, but get them a little bit more ready for pressing. And so they're greased up. And by doing that, this pre-greasing, you're taking your pre-packed bags, they're already in the triple bag. We're going to put them in a vacuum sealer and we're going to vacuum seal them. And that pressure alone is enough to make them bags start greasing up. And basically it's the trichome heads rupturing. And once you pull that out, the key is to get that hash off them hot plates as soon as possible. And by pre-greasing these bags, they're going to start flowing the hash or the rosin a lot sooner than if I just took a cold bag with just dry hash and put it in there. And now I got to let the plates heat that up and start rupturing those heads before we can press. So pre-greasing this is going to save you guys time on your plates, and it's going to give you a much better turp profile, in my opinion. You'll see some videos on Instagram where people are doing these pre-greasing, and you can always tell by the flow of the rosin that they're showing. It's going to be a very clear, even flow with very little bubbles in it. Yeah.
What temp and time are we pressing at? These
Okay, so
15 gram. Did you say
15
triple
gram.
bagged?
Triple bags.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go in at 175. If I feel it's a real like citrus strain where I think the VOCs are real volatile, I'll go in at like 150. And we're pressing for 90 seconds usually. I will give a 30-second pre-press if we didn't pre-grease to warm the pucks up. And then after that 30-second pre-warming, we'll go ahead and start a 60 or 90-second timer and start doing our pressing then. And we start out slow and low. I'll watch the flow of the rosin coming down the plates and onto the parchment paper, and I'll judge the pressure that I'm applying. You don't want to put too much pressure too fast, or you'll create a rupture in your bag, which is going to contaminate your material that you worked so hard to get to this point at. We increase that pressure over the course of that 90 seconds all the way up to a maximum of 4,000 psi. That's about where I tap out at.
Is it manual, hydraulic, electronic?
Yeah, it's a hydraulic press. I have a nice gauge, low temp BVA prep pump.
Okay.
So I can but there's other ones that you can dial in, or some. I have actually have a little Nug Smasher Mini too. Sometimes we'll throw a little couple on there, and you can just judge them by the feel. If you can feel when you're over pressing. If you're straining, you're probably pushing too hard.
So we've juiced out these bags off our rosin press, and we're still in this cold room. I see a lot of people kind of pouring it directly into like a mason jar or something like that.
Yep, sometimes, yeah, you'll see them do some directional flow where they flow right into the jar. If you're doing some large presses, I do suggest that's the way to go. If you're not wanting to do the homogenation with the taffy pull. I believe your buddy, Mr. Pedro, does a lot of taffy pulling. He believes in the homogenization outside of the jar. So, yeah, he's going to come through and cord that up and pull it and homogenize it before he puts it in the jar. That's why you see him do a lot of his on his sheets. If you have a cold room, that works great. But if you don't have that cold room and able to keep them working temps, Yeah, put it into a jar, collect it in a jar, and homogenize it later after the cure. Once you're done pressing, now you got all these sheets that have your rosin on it. You need to collect that rosin up off those sheets, and that can be challenging sometimes, especially when the rosin gets in real thin layers and becomes cold. It becomes very shatter-like, and it's going to want to shatter all over the place.
Yep.
It's frustrating sometimes.
Splinters.
Yeah, so what I do is I usually take the bigger balls, the ones that have the big globs, and those work as great, let's call them rosin magnets, where I can take that on my dab tool. Now I'm using this big glob to collect them other smaller globs, and they're going to coagulate to that big glob a lot easier than just trying to collect them off a raw tool. I hope this has been helpful.
I'm loving it. This
Yeah.
so we're talking homogenization, and
Okay.
so if you're in the jar, how are you going to do it that way?
Okay.
They just whip it,
and I'll show you. I'll be right back.
Oh snap! We're about to get a live demonstration.
Well, I can't whip it yet, but I'll show you.
Okay, all right. Well, he's gonna at least show us and teach us. I'm learning so much, guys.
He can't whip it, but he will.
Can we watch him? Nene? Is that the other part of that song?
I was singing that in my head too.
Thank you.
How's everybody?
I can't wait to get to the budget portion of this.
Oh.
All right, so here's a little 53 grammer.
Just a little one. Just a little one. Oh man, couldn't quite pull off that 2 ounces, huh?
Yeah.
I do it to myself all the time, like
So this is going to nucleate and go from that taffy state to a batter state, and you're going to want to stir this and homogenize this. Now this is fresh pressed, and definitely not going to be ready for it, but it's getting there. I can't tell where my camera's at. This is that Gorilla Glue.
Dang.
So by this, I'll leave it out at about 65 degrees. And it'll probably take about 4 days to really nucleate. And then once I see the turp bubbles start forming, I'll go ahead and just stir this all together, homogenize the whole thing before I take this and separate it into jars. You follow what I'm saying?
Yep, 100%.
Sometimes, let's say we were in the cold room and we decided we were going to do the taffy pull and homogenize everything all at once. We have an option then if we're in production mode, we can actually take those taffy-like coins now that they've been homogenized and go ahead and break them down into 1 gram or 2 gram, whatever you're choosing to package. They're a lot easier to work with in that state than they are in this state here. This takes work to jar this shit up, what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But when they're in the taffy state, they're a lot easier to manipulate and production way out. So, there's benefits to both sides. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, so that sounds like pretty much the whole process, man. I can't thank you enough for sharing that, because I've never really gotten the full rundown. I actually want to offer a morning or afternoon or day's worth of work on me just so I can learn, but I also want to support you and what you're doing. I'm definitely curious, but I want to talk budget, man, because I understand why you're saying the cold room is one of those kind of, it's a bigger expense, but the way I'm looking at it is like a fixed expense, because yes, maybe if you're going commercial and you're building this room with multiple vessels and stuff, you're going to have to create a bigger room that has higher cooling capacity. But at a caregiver small, 150 gallon or 5 gallon, 120 gallon bucket type situation, you're just going to need, 1 AC with 1 cool bot and 1, small room.
So all in all, I'd say between the freeze dryer, I have a 10 by 12 room. Everything I needed to get into it, we're at about 15 grand. But that's production mode.
That's the 20 gallon size, right?
Yeah. That's
save what, maybe a couple grand by going the 5 gallon?
Doing all the work, all the building, everything. I hired out some electricians and stuff, but other than that, it was me doing everything. So there's an added cost if you're not able to do that kind of stuff. But you don't have to get that deep into. I did that for, like I said, production mode, because I want to be able to produce and process for other people. You definitely can get into it for just, you know, a few $100s, you know, on a small scale, and still grow some or create some great product. I honestly, man, I really like dry sift. I know you guys hear me say it all the time, but I do. You can work some wonders here in Michigan in this cold weather that we have with some material. You can do some really great static collections and get some amazing melt with very little investment.
I like it, man. Thanks for sharing. Is it so? Do you think that going all the way to, well, I know you like dry stuff, but going all the way to, you know, fresh pressed, I think is the term. Is that kind of the top tier right now?
For the live rosin, well, let's say I started out pressing flour, and that was just not satisfying at all. You know, I put so much.
Sorry, Russ, your mic's unmuted, and you're just,
that's bad, man.
Killing us.
And you know, I started out pressing flour, and that was, you know, I just didn't find it rewarding to me as far as what I had to put into what I got out. You know what I'm saying? And then I just wanted to level up my game, and then I ended up where we are now.
Yeah.
It was small steps, you know, definitely didn't happen overnight. Definitely small steps to get there. We still have a long way to go, you know, many improvements to make. But our ultimate goal is quality coming out of that room. You know, first of all, you got to bring quality in to get quality out. That's the number one key. Without anything, you know, if you don't start with quality, you can't.
Fire in, fire out. I got a shirt.
Know that. So.
Yep.
So yeah, paddle on.
Nice.
Yeah, what's some BHO phrases? You guys got any cool phrases? Blasted or something like that.
I got my weed card and shit.
Pop that valve.
Yeah, I like that weed card.
Oh fuck.
That's not a good one.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I actually don't know.
It's BHO. We're still hash. It's in our abbreviation.
Yes.
Yeah. Then someone will be like, "No, man, it's honey. It's butane honey oil. It's not hash." All right, dude.
It's not even worth arguing with those people. You know, they're entitled to their opinion. Okay,
for sure.
You're gonna tell me 5 + 5 is 11? Okay.
So you're saying they're just factually.
That's a good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it.
You know, okay.
It's like both processes are trying to do the same fucking thing. They want to separate the.
I honestly think, you know, in my opinion, you're the best BHO man in all of Michigan, and I'll say that for Girly, and I'm very honored to be able to share a platform with you, and I mean that with my utmost being. But I just think there's a lot of risk out there in some of these extractors that don't have the proper equipment. You know that you know, that's actually why I got into doing the solventless, because my kids were, you know, teenagers at that time, experimenting. I didn't want them smoking PVC blown fucking shit. So we decided we were going to create them something that I feel that would be safe for them to consume. And they're adults, guys. They're not little kids. I
was just say you got them with the like double paddles out there.
They're my patients. So, but yeah, you know, we didn't at the time. You know, we didn't want them being out there, being at risk. So
for sure,
you know. But yeah. So I have the utmost respect for all cannabis forms.
And there's this whole thing about I'll say artistry, any artistry. You know, when somebody's creates things, they don't usually create them for themselves. You know what I mean? When you create something, you have a lot of love into something. You create it, and it's usually something you want to share with other people. And that's the same thing with like both you guys, for Grody and Dan. You know, you want to get that stuff out there. It's not like you want to sit on it or anything like that.
No, man. I enjoy watching people, seeing their expressions, you know, when they're tasting this stuff. And that really warms my heart. You know, it really makes them 4 and 5 o'clock, because I know I do crazy hours here, so you guys, but I get up early in the morning to take care of these plants, and you know, it makes those days worth it. You know, because some days I don't want to get up and go out there and feed them, but you know, I do it every day, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I agree, and sometimes it's even the perceivably negative feedback can be taken as a positive compliment. For instance, Pedro the other night is like, Froley, do you ever think that could be too terpy?
Dude, I watched that episode. Yeah, man. Well, some of them terps take your breath away, man.
Yeah, I mean, they coat your throat. I've heard many instances of people that have tried mine specifically that are prone to asthma, and it just doesn't fit their palate. You know what I mean? Like it's not
you probably have. Have you ever did a terp dab? Just straight terps.
Oh, that's not pleasant. I haven't done terp dab, but I took. Remember what was that place? True Terpenes. I took some True Terpenes of it was Gorilla Glue, and I put one drop on a Gorilla Glue bud, just to see what it would do. Yuck is all I can say.
Remember
oh my god!
At Luzerne at one time, that guy at Luzerne, and he had that terps, and I dabbed that shit. Oh my god! Oh my god! I was down the rest of the day. I couldn't hit nothing.
Yeah, I think for me, my absolute I shouldn't say absolute upper limit, but my kind of like general upper limit is probably about 15% in a concentrate. It can become unpleasant at a certain point, and I think generally people can find it unpleasant at even a lower concentration, like 10%, because I think a lot of people take too high temp of dabs. They take too big of dabs. But when you open these jars, like the smell is so crazy, it's hard not to sometimes.
It's amazing. I just wonder what your lime skunk flower room smells like.
Exactly. Well, it's in the air. It smells exactly like the flower, but I've said this before. When you brush up against the plant, it leaves you smelling like BO, and like it's stinky. It's so stinky. I just smell like I've been sweating all day. It's so stinky.
That's rough. It's good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Clementine smells just like clementine when you rub it up against her. Same with Cobra Milk. It's just, lime skunk just gives off this BO like topical application.
Well, I'm glad it changes into what it is. But
yeah, for real. But even in the air, when that wind blows, man, you know what I mean? Outdoors, you can smell it. It smells just like the flower, just like the extract. It smells like lime skunk, and it's super loud. But I don't know, something about rubbing up against it.
What year did you find that?
Bought the pack in, I think, 2015. Hunted it either later that year or the beginning of 2016, something like that.
So it's been around quite a while.
Yeah. What is that? 7 years, probably? Yeah. Maybe more now.
You know, at what point would you guys change genetics in your grows? You know, what?
I do it every fucking time. I always pop something new. I'm always hunting, man. Always
what?
Hunting.
It's hard to let things go. That's what I
find.
No,
it's not.
You don't let them go.
That's it.
No, most of the stuff I don't have anymore was either by choice or by accident. You know what I mean? Like a powder mildew or
if I have it was by accident or
I'm just getting extremely picky. I'm just getting
what you pop.
Well, the problem is I don't
picky on what I keep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna. There's so much shit that I want to give a chance at concentrates. So
Right.
I'm gonna keep that around. But
My last Pheno hunt was like 40 seeds, and I kept one. You know,
yeah,
and that's
Well,
I'm only
there's
on like the
so many
second
good
batch.
Pheno
I
or
mean, that's a
cultivars
proper
out there.
hunt.
Yeah, that's a hell of a hunt. Nice job.
Shout out all the seeds.
We should bring up the news, so especially anybody listening that has Spartan puke seeds. Baked found one
Oh
of
yeah,
Spartan pukes with
number
some
12.
flour. You got some good ass pictures, man, of that. I gotta say. But
Yeah,
you sent me a
guess.
picture the day before, and I was like, "Yep, cut that fucker down." You're like, "I'm gonna give it one more day." The next day it was like even more pronounced, and like, "Yeah, cut that
Yeah.
fucker down."
Yep.
Was that on just the one bud, or did you say you found it on another bud too?
So well, then I clipped off that bud, and then the next day after that, I was looking at it and I saw like a bud 5 inches in that had a couple more.
There you
So
go.
that's when I took the whole
Manners.
plant, and so like this was the day after you told me to cut it.
Right there. There you go. That's a good picture right there. See that
Which
yellow? As soon as
one?
you see that yellow inside the middle of the bud.
Yeah, that's what my eye looks out for. It's like this bright yellow white shit. At first, so like the first day, I couldn't really tell because I didn't get my scope out. If it was just like a weird pistol coming
Yeah.
out right there, it's connected, but you can see it's not.
That's what we call nanners or
Yep. And
pistils or
so
whatever.
I
But yeah,
chopped.
those will open up and they'll dump pollen. So you gotta be
Yeah, so they'll
careful about
split like an alien's mouth,
that. Yeah, yeah.
and there's just shit tons of pollen in them. So I had to get rid of that one. I've been keeping an eye
Go,
out. I haven't
go
seen
back to
anything
that
more.
picture of it cut up. It had some thick ass fucking stalks, man.
Yeah, everything does in there. But yeah, that took me a minute to.
Where was
'Cause I
that
had
in the
to
room?
middle.
Okay.
So like you saw there's two 4x8s. So there's two inner rows, that would be in the middle, and it was like middle back, but not the furthest back. So it was surrounded.
Yeah.
Uh,
No
Prime
yeah.
signs on any
pollination
other
spot.
ones, huh?
Yeah, not a great pollination spot unless you're trying to
Oh
breed.
no, that would
But got rid of it. Hopefully we won't see more. And the thing is, honestly, like I wasn't like looking for him. I'm looking for him, especially when I run Fems. I'm like, all right, you gotta keep a lookout because it's in there. But like, I was like old school rags at Donnie, but you never know. So
New of Gen X is always good to look
keep
and
an eye
honestly,
out.
this is the first one that's been reported to me. I don't know. I can't say it's certainly there's never been one, but that's the first one that I've heard of, and so they're
Yeah,
out there for sure.
yeah. I made sure there wasn't any light leaks or anything weird going on. So just a regular old Hermie.
They're stacking nice in there, man. I think that's going to be a good yield in there.
Oh yeah.
The way they're stacking. Has the
Yeah, I'll
smell
get some
changed at
pics
all?
tomorrow. Huh?
Has the smell changed at all, or intensified at all, or what are you
It's like
getting?
that. It's like that super booth Pez kind of thing going on.
Oh, okay.
That's what the room was tonight.
So it's got
So
some vortex influence. So that must be the Pez side of things.
yeah, I'm not digging it. I want some Dottie.
I want that onion. I want that onion just like that male we
Or
got.
that to go. So that's the thing though. So I chopped that down. I threw it in the bag, that I keep in the Menards bag in the hallway
Uh-huh.
for plant matter. And I didn't just take it out to the yard that day or anything. And so like the next day, the garage smelled of like gross onion. It was like, so like it's like okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll get one like that. Hopefully it wasn't that one that was, the most.
Yeah. Shout out to Chuck's D's nice. He's in chat now. Said mine's still looking nice. It was funny when he put his picture up. When I first saw it, I thought it was you putting it up because it looks so close.
Bro, I was sitting there taking a dab, just flipping through Instagram. I was like, the fuck? I said, what? Because I was like, I didn't post anything today. What? And then, yeah, he's got a clean setup, so it's all white in the background. And then the nugs and everything looked the exact same, the tops and shit. I'm like, oh, until you start seeing the subtle differences. Like, he's got, like, wooden bamboo poles. So I was like, oh, it's not here. And then, but I messaged him. I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Oh, hash time. I gotta grab my stuff.
Bro, have you cracked open any of that triple burger that you kept it in the fridge or whatever and cracked it open recently? Something in the cure, dude. It is loud as shit now.
I don't know if it's with the temp or whatnot, but that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes I would have, I take like 3 grams out at a time for myself, and I'd have it open in front of me, in front of the keyboard right here, and I'd forget. I'd either talk to you guys or I'd be playing a game or something. I'd forget, and then all of a sudden, I'd be like, kind of sniffing, like, what in the world? And then it's the triple burger just kind of reeking. So I don't know if it's just temperature from it sitting out or whatnot. But yeah, or cure, or just a straight up cure. But I'm
I think it's a
excited to
cure
do a
because I'm
mono
noticing
one
the
of them.
stuff like when I open it out of the fridge, I'm noticing it there when I like what you're saying when I'm digging some out to put in,
Oh,
or
okay, yeah.
whatever.
Well, then that's good. Yeah,
It's just super stinky at that point.
yeah. Oh, where's all my stuff?
Kingfisher, shout out to him. He won a light last night on GML, but he said Rising Moon Medicinals has a strain called Green Onion Diesel. Rising Moon, that's Nick Risden, I think's operation.
Yeah. What kind of light did he get?
Totally.
What light did he get? He's gonna start dabbing when I ask questions. That's fine.
My dab got me for a minute. I could not trim for like 20 minutes after I took that dab.
Yeah. We're getting close to popping more seeds since we're talking about that. We'll be popping the purple Urkel stuff. Sorry, I'm tired. But Emerald Bay Urkel, Purple Dog Bud, and Purple Urkel S1. Hopefully get something interesting. And then so I was watching, what was I watching or listen? Maybe I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about Purple Urkel being a real low yielder. So maybe I'll find one that's like got the Purple Urkel essence with maybe a better yield or something. But even so, it's not about yield. But
yeah, I just want to smoke it.
I've had it's like they kind of talked about like it was low. It was like a Mac 1 or 2, like slow veg, all that crap. So it's like I want something that's got the Purple Urkel high, but not that shitty grower. But we'll see. They're all femmes too, so we gotta keep an eye out. That's one on the one. But yeah. Other than that, everything's pretty. Let's see, what did I do this weekend? We told him last week. I think we finished the dry room, so I might have Indica be out to do the electric, and he said he could do that. And then,
what about the water? Where we were at on that?
oh man, I gotta get some more quotes. This motherfucker said like it didn't come out yet, but like I sent him pictures because they're like, let me see, and they were quoting $700-800 to hook up a fucking main, like straight to a main 4 feet away, put a valve, and put a valve on the other end with like a spigot for the RO. $800, but we'll see what other people say. Maybe that's the going fucking rate, but Indica said he might be able to help too.
Sweet, yeah. I was say
So
talk to
I'm
Indica.
gonna shop around on that one. Like Jesus Christ. But
Indica's gonna be licensed pretty soon, so he'll be able to help people in their grows a lot.
well, yeah, he's taking his tests, get his state license with Michigan, so he'll be licensed and possibly insured soon. So he'll be a all-around contractor with grow knowledge, and that's what he's. There's not a lot of those people out there. That's the thing. You get cool. Yeah, you can have the guy that's a great HVAC, but he's been working in HVAC, putting HVACs in houses for 30 years. Good at that. Cool. That's totally different needs than what a grow wants. Or, electric guy or whatever. So it'll be cool to have more grow oriented contractors as long as they don't come in with the green tax, But But
Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing that's happened, pretty prevalent in our industry.
It's everywhere. I'm getting back into fish. There's the reef tax I now have been bitching about online.
Uh-oh.
Well, I showed Indica B, dude. We counted diodes. There was 30 diodes for it was like a $400 light.
What the fuck?
It was just 30 diodes on it, and then the $700 or $800 one had twice that, so it was just two of them, like one over here, one over here, and it was $800. So you're talking 60 diodes, and it was just like that's crazy. There's got, but I already gave GML the tip. He said he's gonna get his people on it, see and research about it, because all it is blue. That's all. Most of it's blue.
Did you tell him that you would beta test all his lights for him? Maybe you could get
I
some
haven't
for
said that.
your lights.
I'll make videos. I got.
There you go.
You know how many tanks I have already? I bought.
Bro, when you told me
This is not campus related, but just to let everybody know, Petco's got their tank sale going for this month. It's like once or twice a year, and it's like half off, which they don't do $1 a gallon anymore. So I got a 60-gallon breeder. I got a 40-gallon breeder. I got 4 10-gallons.
Jesus,
And I cleaned that 20-gallon in the garage. So that's on the kitchen counter now, full right now, because I'm water testing it. And don't forget, I got the 2 little nanos, which are about to get going.
Did you get that stand finished?
Yeah, I don't think wait, I do have pictures on here. I'll pull them up.
So what are you gonna do about all those other tanks that you just bought? You got stands for them?
So no, Indica B is gonna help me build some nice stands. Like I can build a stand, but it's like, that's not exactly straight, and that's not exactly perfect. And I've got OCDs, but I also used the chop saw at Menards. That's the only thing I had. So I used everything, and Menards wood sucks. I'm going somewhere. I'm finding a lumber yard or something and getting furniture grade next, because I bought these studs and they're shit.
I
yeah.
would recommend staying away from all box stores for your structural.
Yeah, dang man, I learned the hard way. I mean, my shit looks nice. I'll show you guys tomorrow. I'll get pictures up, but you can tell it's like, oh, that's some crap wood. And I mean, that was all they had. They didn't have like furniture grade.
You get a black sheet, throw it over top of the whole damn
Well,
thing.
that's the thing. I can still skin it, and my
Yeah,
top
there you
looks
go.
great. I got a piece of birch plywood, and I trimmed it, and then I put trim horizontally for where the tank sits, so it looks good.
Oh,
But
nice. So it holds
I'm
the
gonna
tank
make a
in. I like
matching
that.
one with indica, but we're gonna reverse the colors. So instead of gray with black trim, it's gonna be black with gray trim, since it's the same exact tank next to it.
Nice.
But
What are you putting in the tanks? You already got that picked out?
fish, a lot of fish. But the first one I'm gonna
Just
try to get
fish?
clownfish.
Just
Second
fish?
one I want to put designer clownfish, designer.
Not coral, not
Oh, coral too, but not like the hard coral. So there's hard and soft coral. Hard coral is you gotta start messing with calcium and alkalinity. Then there's soft coral, which looks fine, and you don't
which
have to
looks
mess with
fine.
calcium and alkalinity. You just mess with the typical nitrate and all that stuff.
Okay.
But
So
no, yeah.
saltwater is what you're talking
Saltwater,
about.
all saltwater. Yeah, I don't do freshwater. Freshwater is cool, I guess, for people, but saltwater is where
What
it's
does
at.
that mean?
What do you?
We're not in
Freshwater is
Florida.
lame.
Hey, you're not in Florida anymore, dude. I just want you to know.
Freshwater is the only thing I saw. I went to the local pet store. The only thing I saw that was cool, and I was pretty. I took a bunch of dabs before I went there, by the way. And this store has the wonkiest floor.
It's terrible,
They got
dude.
a foundation issue, and so you're
I think
walking,
it's
and it's a
10,000
whole
years old. I think it was there
strip.
right after Jesus was around. That place came up in the business.
It seems like it, because it's a long strip of fucking freshwater. It's just like a mile long of freshwater left and right, but the ground you're walking, you're just like, this is trippy. But yeah, so I went there, and they had one cool freshwater. I said, there's one cool freshwater, and it was like a long It looked like a pencil or something. It was a long, skinny guy. Gar maybe. I don't know.
Ooh, gars are cool. Yeah, they're fucking
Freshwater gar,
they're
but
carnivorous, aren't they? Don't they have big teeth and
could
shit?
have been. No, I didn't see. I mean, these things were like 4 or 5 inches long,
Oh, okay, they're
quarter
smaller.
of an inch to maybe half an inch thick. You know, they're like little. Yeah, so like if they had teeth, they were small.
So if you're going saltwater, you doing anything else besides fish like crabs and snails
But
and
yeah, you got
shrimp?
that's called the cleanup crew. So you get little snails and stuff like that, and they eat all the poop. That's why I don't eat crabs and shrimp and stuff. They eat poop. They're the bottom feeders.
I like them poop eating crustaceans.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people do.
Not this guy. I'm with baked on this one.
That's true. I'll give abolish that. The freshwater is way better if you're a plant person. You want to do some live plants, or like I've seen, it's almost like it's like underwater waterfalls, but it's like I think they're using sand, so they pump sand, and it's kind of neat that way, but not for me. I want to see some cool ocean fish with colors. I used to have a fish that ate sand. It ate sand and spit it out its gills, basically cleaning it. How cool is that? Functional and looks good. But
I don't know,
what you
man. I'm
got
not a
there,
big fan.
Dan?
Not really a big fan of fish.
Smash cake.
Wait till you see my tank.
Well,
Smash
I
cake,
mean, I'll
nice.
check out your personal prisons for fish. That's cool, man.
But you mean my what do you call it when you save them like Noah's Ark? Uh,
Your rescue.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure the story of Noah's Ark. I don't remember anything about him saving any fucking fish. I don't think fish were really on his mind.
Well, they didn't have
Saving the fish.
silicone for tanks back then, so it's also why that story is weird. Well, they didn't have to save the fish because it was a water issue.
That's what I'm
It's a water
saying. So
issue.
you're saying like on Noah's Ark, but there's no fish on there, man. You got me confused.
Whatever. Well, when the apocalypse happens and the ecology dies, I'll be like, well, I still got a Toby puffer and some mandarin and a clownfish.
In the apocalypse, you hold on to some fish in a tank.
Fuck
That's
yeah,
what
you ever play like the apocalypse games? It's like, oh, there's a guy that sells weed. Oh, but are you rich and wealthy? Do you have a lot of bottle caps? Because that's the new currency. You got a lot of bottle caps. Well, what do you want? Something fancy like a fish tank?
I think somebody's gonna fight
That's the
out.
guy. You gotta go a couple towns over, but that's the guy.
I think pretty soon you'll be eating those fish.
I don't think you can eat some of those.
I mean, you get hungry enough, man.
Most saltwater, like these the colorful fish aren't edible.
Well,
You
I
can
would tell you.
try.
I would tell you that no fish is edible, but
Yeah. Well,
Have you ever had any grouper,
grouper.
Russ? That's a really, really good mild fish, man. It's like almost.
I had it last year in Florida because I was looking off the dock and I was watching a grouper eat things off the dock. So I grabbed a fishing pole and I tried to grab it and it was gone. And so I said, screw it, I'm going to dinner tomorrow and I'm eating grouper.
It's good. Man.
There you go.
That was pretty good. I think it was black grouper or something. I don't remember.
Is grouper related to a hogfish?
I don't know. They swim.
We went harpooning hogfish once. Yeah. Then they ate them. I didn't eat them.
oh, you just went out there and stabbed them for no reason.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It sounds now you put it that way, but oh well.
Well,
Man, yeah, I have less sympathy, man, because at least they ate the fucking things. You just smelled
They
them.
they prove that fish don't have conscience like that. Fish don't have consciousness.
Oh, who proved it? The people killing them?
No, scientists.
Oh, the same people
They
killing
don't have
them.
the capacity for consciousness.
Sure.
So like people are like, oh, my fish loves me. No, your fish wants you because he only registers you with food. That's period. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's not like your dog that maybe not. You're not sure. Some people, but
Are you talking about your fish in your fish tank? Yeah, they're
talking
not
about your
fucking-
fish. Your fish say they so like
Yeah, 'cause
they
they're
never
in
will.
a fucking fish tank, man. The
So
only
what do you
event
think?
in
What
their
do you think?
entire day.
Well, you think
The
what
only
most?
event in their entire day is them getting food from you. That's their only event.
What do you think? Ocean ones suddenly have a conscious?
Yeah, I think every living thing, even plants, have conscious.
I don't
Yes.
think, no. Sentience.
Yes.
Oh Lord. No, this is a late night says chart. So let's write that down. But,
Do rocks?
yeah, what about
No.
rocks? What about
I don't feel
Adam? We're all
rocks. I don't feel
atoms.
like
A
rocks.
plant's an atom.
A plant's a what? A plant's a living thing. It grows and moves. Has living, cells.
Rocks
Have
move.
energy.
Yeah, but they don't have living cells in them.
Bacteria all over 'em.
They're not rock cells, though.
If they're porous rock, they're actually a habitat for many.
But the bacteria around them are the bacteria that are the living cells. The plant is the part of the plant is the living plant cell. That's a plant. That's still part of the plant. That's why the plant is a living thing, whereas the rock is not. It's just a mineral.
This is why we gotta do late sesh, because I'm gonna hit you with what's the difference between a living cell and a rock cell.
I would say the difference is you can look under a microscope and see it moving around and shit.
I don't think the cells move around like that.
Fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Well, I guess yeah. If you go
It's all day
further,
long
but-
transporting things around and sending off viruses.
Well, yeah, but rock atoms are vibrating. Everything's vibrating.
Facts.
So technically, if you get a small
Wait,
enough
wait.
microscope,
You just
the rock
canceled
is
out your
moving.
argument. You just canceled out your argument this right after you said it. You said the rock's vibrating, and then
Yeah.
you said everything is vibrating. So because everything's vibrating, that cancels that out.
No, that
Or does it
just
prove
means
it's
everything's
fun?
moving.
No, everything vibrates. Yes, because everything's made of atoms. Everything is made of electrons. Yes, everything vibrates for sure. But yeah, that doesn't prove anything. Everything vibrates. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't make them living.
Do you think the planet's alive?
What do you mean? It's full
Yeah.
of living things.
No, the planet
It's definitely full
itself.
of living things. No, I don't look at the planet as a living thing. No.
I don't think the planet
Okay.
has a conscience.
Right. I don't think so. Either.
Oh, okay.
There's a
I
global
A
consciousness.
living, breathing organism.
Right.
Gotta breathe.
There's a lot of people I pass every day that don't have a fucking conscience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kingfisher wants to know if the cannabis plants are screaming when I'm cutting them down. I don't know. I don't hear them screaming, but they could be.
Well, see, the thing is, I read an article that they do scream.
Okay.
It's like a silent
good.
scream. Oh, when you cut plants down.
They communicate to
Yeah, they
through,
like.
mycorrhizal.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's why we segregate them in plastic pots so they can't communicate.
That's
Right.
Don't look.
It's the matrix. We are the
makes
computer.
me sad.
I always tell my plants, I'm like, don't even worry, you live on. You got a clone going. You're still going. Bam.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's a good sentiment for them to have before
Yeah.
you chop their heads off.
I chopped their
And
feet
Cut
off.
their legs off
harvest
first, and then I
harvest their body parts to burn and inhale.
I chopped their feet off. That's another thing I do. I don't smoke in front of my plants. I think that's rude.
I don't smoke in my anywheres. How about you guys?
No, I don't
And
smoke.
no-
Dry room, grow room. I'll smoke in the hallway. I'll
Yeah.
smoke in that hallway, but I mean, yeah, I've never been a big yeah, I know it's my grow, but who cares? Like, I don't want to smoke in my grow. Yeah. I try not to smoke around open jars of weed. You know,
That's a good
get
point.
your
I never
weed
thought
out, close that jar up.
I don't like jars being open anyway. I'm a fiend about that. I don't like
My
even like a
burps are
dab
quick.
jar or anything. It's always closed.
Yeah, my burps are quick with, while I'm in the room, we'll burp it out. If I'm leaving the room, I'm closing them up.
Yeah. Well,
Like you said, usually if you left one open too.
Yeah.
So it's stinking.
Which is unfortunate because all that stuff you're smelling is stuff you could have been smoking. You just lost all those terps.
They're so volatile, these organic compounds.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I've got the newer stuff I have. Well, it's new to me. Is I have kind of secret project because I did very few seeds. I only have, I mean, maybe 20 seeds, 20, 30 seeds, maybe 50 seeds of this cross, but it was it had a Limelight from Brandon Rust, and I crossed it to Vortex, and I've got two of those in flower right now, looking pretty good. There's one I really am favoring over the other. Like the number 2, I think it is. I'm liking way better than the number 1.
So what are you liking about it? Better?
Oh, just the bud structure, the way the plant grows, the smell. It has a little bit more stronger smell to it already, and it's more like the bud structure. Like I'm seeing the way the bud structure is, and it's a tighter bud structure, and I don't know. I just like it way better. And then it's in veg still, but soon to go into flower. I have my Orange Dream Haze across the Vortex. So I'm excited for that one.
Nice.
Orange Dream Haze has got a really fast. It grows so fast. It's a super vigorous plant. And my biggest complaint with Vortex is that the Vortex grew like, instead of growing straight up like a real vigorous plant, it just wanted to bush out real bad all the time and get real bushy, and it grew a little bit slow. So I thought that not only the flavors are both citrus, so on the Vortex side of things, it was more like the lemon mango, and then on the Orange Dreams Haze side, it's pretty orangey. So I figured it would be a really good terp crossing, or mingling, but it's also trying to bring that vigor to the Vortex. And right now, when I'm doing these like little pheno hunts of them, I'm putting 2 in my sip containers at the same time. And I've got these in veg. In the Orange Dream Haze, it's crazy because one is super slow, kind of like the Vortex with like the thinner leaves, and then the other one is like a good mix, and it's growing super vigorous, super big. So it's like instant veg, and I'm already making a decision. Like I already know which one I like on that.
Just overshadowing the others.
Yeah. So we'll see how those. I'll see. I don't even know. Those aren't even sexed yet, so I'm not even sure if those are both female or not. But I'm super stoked just to grow those. It's fun to see like the different parents come out in the offspring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not always just the terps, Sometimes it's like the visual representation of it. It's like, okay, that's obviously that.
Obviously, my eye always brings me there first, unless I can smell you from across the room. But it's my eye, and then it's my nose. My eye's going to bring me to the cola or the bud, or but my nose is going to tell me whether I want to smoke it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes my eyes misleading me. To the nice looking colas when it was the leafy, no calyx having fat ass colas that were really smelling good, not the tight ass frosted out.
Yeah, I call it the old school style.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like
more on the sativa side too.
That what is it? That Blue Dream, it's got good terps, but man, that's the ugliest plant I've ever seen, man. That's the hardest plant to work on.
Yep.
I hate trimming that plant, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I hate seeing it in veg.
Yeah, I hate.
I look at that plant like, oh, why the fuck I have that?
Yeah.
But I do, because I just like holding on to stuff.
And also those plants you were talking about, Spartan, that you say bush out like that. I call that lateral growth, and that makes it a massive bitch to deal with that shit in a large commercial setting. I hate that lateral growing plant.
Chernobyl is like that, and that's one thing I'd like to breed out of that. Is like it's like that Blue Dream. It's just leafy. It's lateral. It's bullshit.
I want that
like
reach to the sky, and
space its nodes. And
let me make your spacing. Quit crowding my lower space. I hate that shit. But anyway.
Yeah, I'd like to grow up in like a square if I could. Take up your 2x2 spot, or whatever spot I'm having you take up that square and grow straight up like that in the column and stop doing anything else.
Make it harder for me to manage you in the little space that I have. You know, I hate that lateral.
That's how Lime Skunk is, and if you top her enough times, she will really fill the space. But you gotta stay on top of her in those first few weeks of flower because she's always trying to push up a couple that will just absolutely explode above the rest of them, and then you'll have like these 4 arms like up, over here, and then you got all these like the whole sea of green of the rest of them. It's like perfectly balanced, but these couple got away from you. Because she does just reaches up, just keeps going up. But if you have her bushy enough, she'll fill in that space totally. It's crazy.
Excellent. Canopy management, where it's all about, man.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool with the Spartan Pukes on this pheno hunt that we got going on in the Jackson Forest Baked. Only topped it one time, and it's like pretty uniform in there. We did do some training for sure underneath the scrog, I guess.
And those are all
but it's still not bad.
Spear cola types, you know what I'm saying? Look like long spears.
Yeah. They're in between that old school leafy kind of thing and like Donnie, what I call it, like, and to me they look like, and it's not like I have a shit ton of experience, but to me they look like cheese strains. Like when I used to look at strains on the internet, it's like cheese. They're like super hairy.
Yeah.
Just super hairy. There's just white hairs everywhere. And but now they're starting to pack on weight and look different, and we'll see where they go. It's just that's what I love about it. It's just see, you never know. I mean, this is day like 35, I think.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Sometimes they can look like that, where they have all them white hairs, and then the next day you wake up and all them bracts are all swollen now.
Yeah.
The buds have taken on a whole different representation.
Yeah.
And that always amazes me how that happens overnight.
But this has vortex in it, so I've never had a strain that's old. You remember I've bought weed like this, but I've never grown weed like this. Old school, like, I don't know, they probably would have just named it like Columbia Red and shit like that, where it was like almost all hairs, you know what I mean? Like over the bud. Like we might end up with 1 or 2 like that, where it's just straight, hairy and tons of pistils.
I'll be so excited to smoke it to see what it feels like.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember. I had one strain that was so hairy that by the time you got it dried and cured in the bag, or I guess in a jar would be a better example. Like the bud looked red because the hairs were so like covered it, so much. And then if you like by the time you got halfway through the tar, there'd be a layer of pistils at the bottom of the jar. It turns out you can smoke those too. It's like a different form of hash.
Yeah.
My Bliss Bud's kind of that way. It's a really hairy strain.
Yeah. I'm excited to do that one in salt.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
And see what it does. Now it's had like one or 2 cycles, however you want to look at it, reset.
It was interesting. Talk about that a little bit.
Clone.
How you noticed how there was such a big, I don't know what you call it, learning curve for it. To go from soil. Its whole life, like from breeding, pop from seed, all was in soil, and took a clone out there in a little peat plug, a little jiffy plug or whatever. And Baked was saying it was taking him forever to get it to do anything.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, it rooted and everything fine, but it was just, it didn't take forever. It was just finicky. It was like, oh, you're not happy. You're never happy. Oh, you finally dried out, so I'm gonna run you off. Like you should, get you some oxygen, new nudes. Nope, you're still not happy. And so then, finally, one time I think it was in the one gal, it got like, I don't know, 10 nodes up, and it started like producing happy leaves, like 5, 9 fingers and stuff like that were actually looking happy. And then so I let it get a little bigger than that, reset it. But yeah, So it was just I just and then like I never had the thought. That was the thing. I had it for like 2-3 weeks. I don't know, maybe longer. And I just finally that's what clicked when I hit you up, and I was like, oh yeah, this thing's come from organics. It's probably confused a little bit, but I think it'll snap out of it. And yeah, that's why I'm excited to see what it does. Because I've seen it outdoor, and I've seen the bud. You give me bliss bud when you grow it. So now let's see what some salts can do.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Tara, what's up?
Cheers, everybody.
Nice
Cheers.
shirt.
Oh,
Thank you.
The Dab. That's a dope newspaper. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like the Dab Daily. The Daily Dab. The Daily Dab.
I like it.
Ooh, that's a
Love
good
it.
one. I'm surprised somebody hasn't taken that one
I
yet.
know.
Got a big,
Yeah.
big old alien
It's
on the
free.
back of it. I love
Oh,
this.
no.
Well, you can take Dank Man's Daily Dab. Ooh, there you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
Do it.
You should do it. Do it Instagram live every day. Dank Man's Daily Dab.
There you go.
30 seconds.
As long as I ain't bankrupt, I would.
I know. Shoot, I'm already almost bankrupt, and I just got some from Baked.
Oh,
It's like, where did all this go?
in your lungs.
My lungs.
In
To your
my
bloodstream.
lungs. So good.
The
And
last edition of the dailydab.com was in February of 2017, unfortunately. Maybe one of you guys can pick it up.
Yeah.
that'd be nice. Once maybe I have my
Are
own
you-
dabs, maybe.
Are you going to do the 12 days of Christmas again for Girly? I always enjoyed watching you do that shit.
I think so. Why not?
It was fun. Hell yeah. I'm curious to see what your 12 days of medicating is going to bring.
Well, I think I might have to pick up something from everyone on this panel, huh?
That'd be fucking epic.
Yeah.
I get anything grows on it, man. She
This
made
year's just flown by.
baked. I got a fucking treat for you, bro. She made chocolate muffins with chocolate chip cookies or chocolate chips in them. You put one of those suckers in the microwave for like 30 seconds. Oh my
It gets a
god.
little melty.
Dude, I was just thinking the other day. I was like, I hope next time she comes, she just brings like chocolate chip muffins or something regular.
Oh, I'm glad you guys said that. I got a brownie in the glove compartment for my sister-in-law. Oh my gosh, guys, my sister-in-law is the best. So she's been getting gummies for me now for about a year now, and like that's as far as she goes. Like she's smoked a doobie with me a couple times, but I'm the first one that got her high like years and years ago, right out of high school. So she finally was like, what if I try like some butter or something? So a month or so ago, I sent her home some butter. And then she's like, is there any way I can make this myself? And I was like, oh, yeah. So I was like, there's a machine you can buy, and I can give you the trim, and you can do this all in one thing. She bought this swanky-ass Levo and spent like $500 on it, and it's got all the bells and whistles, but she made her first butter yesterday, and she's so proud of herself. I was so tickled. She did an awesome job, but she's aiming to make her own gummies. So I was super excited to see her do this.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to kind of bridge gaps is introduce people to edibles because it's not as scary it's like smoking. Oh, you got a stalker behind you, Tara. Watch out.
I always have a stalker behind me.
That was creepy.
I'll end up when we were up in Kalkaska, I'd be like pumping gas, in the middle of nowhere, and then he'd just like show up, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Oh, that's nice, Dan. Oh, can't wait for this weekend.
Primal Punch.
Oof.
Happening. Gonna do another dab.
Talking about the Fledge, Tara?
So yeah, the Fledge is coming up this weekend. We've got lots of friends
Saturday.
are going to be there, vending and session with everybody. So it looks like it's going to be a good weekend. I hope everybody can make it.
Yeah. Saturday, you said?
Yeah, Saturday,
yeah.
12 to 6, right?
Oh, it's Saturday. I was
Yeah,
thinking
Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, it used to be, or they usually had it on Sundays, but I think he's got a couple Saturdays coming up here.
Yep.
all right, Saturday up in Lansing.
Yep. So I'll be there. Becca will be there. Tara will be there. Fergoli will be there. I'm pretty sure
You'll be there.
Vika will be there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great caregivers.
I'm trying to get Doc Dankenstein to come. I'm working on it.
Show up, Doc.
I'm hoping he does.
I'll have you GG4. You show up.
I'll entice him with that. That'll get him.
I got it right here, Tara.
That'll get him. I'm going to text him as soon as we're done with the show. I'll bug him every day. So, yeah, it'll be good to see everybody. Get some hurts.
So, Becca, you're going to be doing all the trimming and packaging and all the work this week?
I'm going to come help on Tuesday. We're going to spend the day together, hanging out, cooking.
Thank you so much, because I go crazy having to be by myself and take care of DOG.
Yeah, I don't mind.
And just trim the whole time. I'd be sad, but
I'd be happy to help you. It'll be a fun day. Did you guys talk about Ohio going legal? Did we talk about that at all?
I don't think we did last week. I think we talked about voting last week.
Yeah, well, HLVP passed here in Ohio, and as of December 7th, people will be able to, well, I should say, hold on. December 7th as of right now is when people will be able to recreationally enjoy that stuff, but they're trying to rewrite the bill already. They want it to be worded differently. There's some points that they want reword. I don't know, a bunch of mumbo jumbo as usual. So I don't think anything's majorly changing. Like, they're not taking away the 6 plants per person kind of thing, which that's fucking huge in my book right there. That's what I wanted more than anything out of that, was the 6 plants to grow per person household. So
the home grow.
Yeah, that was huge. So
you can combine and get up to 12. That's cool.
So super exciting. I've had a lot of people reach out to me already from Ohio, wanting me to come and help them set up grows for them.
Terra Nation Consulting.
Yeah, honestly, I've already started getting a couple things in the works. Also people wanting plants. I've had people reach out needing plants. So that's another good thing. I always got babies. So
yeah.
So yeah, this could be a good thing for a little while for me. Keep me busy.
Sweet.
Super cool.
Oh yeah. More opportunity. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just when I kind of thought I wasn't sure where things were gonna kind of go with me, actually, really, I've kind of been like, I don't know what I'm doing right now, and kind of just been going with the flow. And this is kind of giving me a little bit of direction, so this will be cool.
Shout out to Ohio. I wonder if they're probably going to start having events. I wonder,
I think Gems is already looking at it.
Yeah, that's it. I swear, a Northern Ohio event might be closer than some of these other events.
Yeah, some parts in Ohio are definitely close to the Michigan border that you could definitely have some nice events in their fields, and a lot of cornfields.
There's been a lot of dispos hurting down by the border.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be funny to watch. Start watching them all pop up in the Cincinnati area and stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, it'll be.
It's gonna be years from now before it makes a difference.
Definitely. But that's more jobs coming into for Ohio, so that'll be a good thing also, and for people who want to work.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll pay them.
Hopefully, some of the I've been looking at some of the starting off pay for people at some of the grows down there, and it's pretty competitive right now. Don't know how long that'll last, but
yeah.
They always show you that in the beginning, and then you get in there and it's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm still waiting for federal.
Oh yeah, another thing. 2020 Mendocino gave away 1,000 packs of seeds to Ohioans in 6 hours.
No, it's 6 hours.
How great is that? We were lucky
awesome.
enough to get a seed pack too, so I'm super excited to get those. And
It looked like some good genetics. I like that.
Yeah, glue sniffer and snow. What was it? It's called snow blower, but it's glue sniffer and snow.
Sour snow, I think.
Sour snow or something like that. Maybe there you go. So I'm interested. I'm super excited. Yeah.
That glue sniffer is a real good outdoor up
I
here in
really
Michigan
love
for
it.
sure.
You know, I had glue sniffer a couple years ago, and I traded those packs. I don't remember what I traded them for. Oh, I kind of remember it has something to do with sequence. As a matter of fact, I do remember I traded those for those Metaphisto autos for him for the greenhouse.
Oh,
Now I remember. Boy, the things I did for you.
That was a long time ago.
I was. Yeah, shout out to Sequence and Painted Lady. They had to pet down their little baby kitty, and I was
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, baby passed.
yeah.
Shout out to both those guys.
Yeah, for
Baby
sure.
was a good medical not experiment, but client of the groups. Had participated in the RSO trials. Might not have lasted, might not have lasted as long as she did, if she wouldn't have had the RSO. So maybe the help the longevity and life of her. So shout out to Sequence and Painted Lady. Super sorry for your loss.
Yep. Our deepest condolences.
Sucks when you have to lose an animal.
Yep, because they're like your children.
Yep, they sure are.
You gotta get the ones like mine that's gonna live forever.
That's what he keeps telling me.
We got
Yeah.
chickens now.
And you just tell them that too.
They're
You say,
disposable.
See, really, the secret is this Frosty died years ago in a car accident, but this is just undead Frosty. That's just gonna.
yeah, this is perfect. Go. Hey, I'll take it. If it means forever. Oh, I also got a cat over here now too, though.
I know. I like your little
I
guy.
think I renamed it. It's Cheese Puff.
Oh,
Cheese puff. Okay.
Yeah, because Skeet came over and I misheard him say something. I thought he called it Cheese Puff. I said that's perfect. I wasn't sure on the names I get. And so now Cheese Puff is the defender of the fridge.
Oh.
She likes to sit in front of the fridge. I think it's the warmth. And just lay there. So like, okey doke.
Yep, she getting that compressor warmth blowing underneath the.
Well, here's the thing.
Or-
Here's the thing. I didn't see her. I won't see her for 2 days. I didn't see her for 2 days. And then today, I'm coming out from the grow. Here's, running up to me like, oh! I'm like, don't come run up to me. Where you been? I've been calling for you every night. And that's not my fault. You want to stay out there in the fuck ass cold. But now you get it. Now you get it.
But she does have that long ass fur, so she's probably.
Well,
She's a wild fucking cat, man. She's not.
Yeah,
just
she's a neighborhood cat. She's a neighborhood cat, but now she's got a collar.
Yeah, she's
mosquito and tick collar.
Yeah, but you can't take the wild out of that cat.
Oh bullshit! Look at this thing. It's just it took the house living.
The previous name was Snorlax because that fucking thing just sleeps all day.
Yeah, that's all, dude. And like, here's how I know it's a wild cat. It's got PTSD or something, because it'll be sleeping and you'll just come up to it and you'll barely aim a touch of it, and it's like whoa, and it doesn't freak out, but it pops up, and you're just like, dude, this is a safe environment. Like nothing. If you get awoken here, it's okay. It's not like a hawk or something.
If you're homeless, you're always living on edge.
Well, exactly. I gotta get that. Like, if you stay in the house, you're good, cat. But I mean, like, if you keep doing these little 2-day binges out there, I can't help you on that.
I have to unlearn that trait with your.
See, Baked is a jealous fucking pet owner. It's like you do here every day. I don't want to miss one day.
Well, it's just I worry. Those nights it doesn't come out, I'm like, well, what if it got hit by a car? There's a road over there.
Yeah, that's true.
What if it got frozen to death because it's getting pretty cold?
What if a deer mauled it?
Then I'd become a hunter. But
that's
gonna go rogue against.
It'd be a movie. Yeah, it'd be like John Wick, but against deer. And you kill my cat.
You'd be out baiting them in your yard and shit.
Yeah. Fuck you, hoof motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll
50
teach you.
cal. Oh!
You'd be
I don't
hunting
need
deer, and then he'd be making cat food out of the deer meat.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, get wood
I'll
chip
come get the deer meat.
Then
Or
all the
that.
cats in the he'd feed all the stray cats in the neighborhood, and then they'd get a taste for deer, and they'd start hunting them.
I put like Rambo traps, like half of a log or a tree would swing down and just smash one of them. You wouldn't even be able to
And
get
then
meat.
the bait would swing down from the tree, and a
It's
whole
called
herd of
cat
cats.
vengeance.
You'd hear a bunch
Rambo,
of meows,
knife
and a whole
mouth.
herd of cats from the neighborhood would follow behind them.
Well, you have to send a message to the other deer that you don't mess with the neighborhood cats
That's right.
or dogs. I worry about my dog, to be honest. My dog can't see. He doesn't pay attention. The turkeys.
You
He's
told me
walked
this.
out. He's walked out, and the turkeys were 30 feet from him. He didn't know. We're talking a gang of like 10 turkeys that are his size or
I think
bigger.
it's a
So it's like
gaggle. I think
you
it's a
gotta be
gaggle.
watching that stuff, dude. But
When you told me about the deer, like like pretty much walked right past them, and you're like, dude.
oh yeah, yeah. The deer I gave up on. The deer he's just oblivious to. But
That's funny.
yep.
Gotta love them little friends. Them furry friends of ours.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when you told me, or I think you called me or texted me or something with the turkey on your house, on your roof.
I didn't know they could do that. Yeah. Yeah, I was baffled too. They roost.
They're so loud when they do that, dude. If you, most hunters will experience that here in Michigan. You'll be sitting up in a tree stand or something, and you might hear the turkeys, you might not, but you know, there might be 15, 20, 25, 30 turkeys.
Sound like a freight train.
Yeah, one by one, man. They just flap, 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 flap up into a
Yeah.
branch, and they crack a couple branches. And I've heard them land on a branch, crack a branch, and crack a couple on the way down. And because they're good sized birds, obviously. And
Klutzy.
yeah, it's hilarious, man. But
I was
it's
like, what
loud,
the
and it's kinda
fuck's on my roof?
Santa
Is it,
came
like,
early.
because there's trees they can get to too, and I came out, and there's one on the roof over here.
What he
maybe,
means like
maybe
comes
another.
out, though, is he comes rolling out and he stands up and he's got a AK.
Well,
He's
no,
strapped.
I'm not a communist, but
Oh, so you got an AR-15.
yeah, I got I was on alert. I'll tell you that because I went, what is, I'm using it in the basement, so I was like, what is that? So I grabbed that thing, go out there, and there's like one or two on the roof. There's one in this tree over here, and at the exact moment I looked, there's like one doing what you said, making a shit ton of noise, flapping up to the tree, and I'm like, what's going on?
It's a turkey raid.
And there's a couple on the ground that I guess were, roosters. But like, yeah, and I didn't know they could do that, so I'm dumb. Yeah, I'm like, this is a turkey, attack. I don't know what's going on or what. And then I got to Google it, and
Well, you should Google what a rooster turkey is called.
no, like a roosting. It's called roosting.
Oh, I thought you
When
meant
they
like
go
a
out
male
there, it's called
turkey.
roosting. So I no, but not all of them roost. It's like the males or something do it or something like that. So yeah, no, I know what a fucking rooster is.
Well, do you know what a male
That'd be
turkey is
crazy if I
called?
saw a rooster hanging out with turkeys.
Okay, hold on. I've got pictures of a turkey eating from my bird feeder in my backyard, and about a dozen of my chickens hanging out with the turkey eating from.
Really?
Probably wouldn't
Interesting.
bother.
So they're just friends. All of them are friends now.
Birds.
They've evolved
A bunch of birds.
into birds.
Well, yeah, until the hawks come and they all scatter. But
Yeah.
actually, I also got video of. I could probably pull this up. I got video while I was driving. I had a gaggle of turkeys in front of me on the road, and as I'm driving, this one, instead of going off the road, decides to fly right in front of me, doing that crazy flap, and it's right in front of my windshield. Of course, I'm braking, and as it's maybe 10 feet away, a red-tailed hawk comes down and just attacks the turkey right in front of me, and I was filming it. Hold on, give me a minute. I'll try to find it.
Were your kids
Wow.
with you and stuff?
What's that?
Were your kids with you and stuff?
I think it was just me at the time.
Okay. That stuff's hard to explain to little kids sometimes.
Oh, they probably
It's
wouldn't.
like,
have
I'm
even
not
seen it.
laughing. I'm not.
Yeah, Mother Nature's brutal, man.
Fucking, she's
Fucking
metal as
brutal.
fuck, man.
Yeah, one time I was cruising down the road and up here, there's roadkill all over, dead deer, and there's these two ravens on this fucking dead deer, and this eagle came down, and I'm driving down the road. I can kind of see this all happen in front of me, and these ravens chased that fucking eagle off that fucking deer carcass, and that eagle started flapping down the freeway coming at my truck and just went right over, glided right over my windshield. Fucking just epic, man. I'm like, I can't believe that just happened, and just Mother Nature is just amazing, man. Cool shit.
I was down here. I was in like Milan, which is pretty far south, with my friend, and we were just driving down her road, and an eagle swoops down in downtown Milan. It was so bizarre and wild, but it was an eagle to get some roadkill, and it took it and went, but right in front of our car, like barely.
I've seen more bald eagles this year than I ever have in the rest of my life on this planet. And I don't
Really?
know if there's
Our
a reason for it,
national bird is the biggest fucking scavenger there is. They rarely hunt their own food.
it's true.
They steal everybody else's shit.
Sounds like
They're
somebody.
like, yeah,
Sounds like taxes.
truly American.
Sounds very American.
Yeah, it sounds
Very
like American taxes.
America.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
We should have had the golden eagle, like Fergoli once showed us.
I'd rather
it
have
kills goats and stuff.
a phoenix. I want a fire phoenix.
All right,
Fire
you guys ready
Phoenix
for this?
isn't real, Dan. We have to stay in reality sometimes.
Oh, don't talk about reality, Big.
I'm gonna try to get this in focus.
I was just playing Magic the Gathering. There's a Phoenix card and it's dope.
I bet.
Yeah,
Probably
because it can
10,
come
10.
back from the
Wow.
back from the dead, and it gets stronger every time it does that.
10-10 trampler or something.
Oh,
Right.
Dan wants to play. Dan wants to play. Yeah, we can't see.
There,
I
you
can't
see
believe
that?
he's doing this. 'Cause
I do.
everyone, hold on. Everyone gives me every time I attempt what he does right now. I get so much shit from the panel. He does
he
it with
saw it.
Russ is just eating, munching away. How this is horse crap.
You
But
know,
you're the
you're not
production
wrong.
manager.
I'm sorry, Big. Do you need some attention?
No, I need the equal treatment.
Oh, what? You're worried that
I
he's
want
trying to
to
share?
be able to pull out my phone and pull up a video, just like that, you know.
Well, Fergoli doesn't have the controls of the show, man.
It's never stopped him from putting a share screen thing up.
Oh yeah, it does.
Would you like me to share my screen?
Yeah, if you got the video on it
I mean, I can make this happen.
in 7 minutes.
Oh,
Are you feeling better? Are you okay now, Baked? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I am. I would like more food, but I'll do that after the show. I didn't know it was gonna take this long.
Video's still processing. Sorry.
What? Are you on a Mac?
No,
Prompt you.
no, but I'm uploading it from my phone to my
I got
computer.
salted mixed nuts. I highly recommend them.
Have you tried the
Good.
ones that have everything? It's got the everything seasoning on it.
No, I have
Oh
not.
my gosh, it's phenomenal.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Oh, it's so good.
I like just regular peanuts
I do too, but I like it. That everything stuff just kind of
and
gives it a little
pistachios.
jazzes it up a bit.
Or I wish somebody would make just peanuts and M&Ms or whatever chocolate candy, you know. But
I like.
there's always extras to that mixture. And I wish there was an option for just that. Well, I guess I could always make it myself, is
I
what
was
you're
just gonna
about to say.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, but then you kind of get upcharged because peanuts by themselves are kind of inflated. I think that's why they mix all these nuts.
Well,
They're
you
able to
grow your own
dilute.
then.
They're able to dilute it. You know, cut it down. So
Screen is sharing.
okay.
That's the turkey
Oh
flying
wow!
right in front of me.
Yeah, right in front of
Right
you.
in there.
That's the turkey.
That's the turkey.
I thought it was a hawk.
No, that's the turkey. There's the hawk. You see it coming in from the
Oh
left?
yeah, yep.
Boink.
Like,
That's amazing. I can't believe
Yeah.
you caught that.
yeah, that's amazing. You got it.
Yeah.
Baked
Wow.
is mad.
And then he lands in this tree up here. It was wild.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now that we
I've-
see it.
I've got quite a few shots of these hawks with my drones and stuff too. They're just always they're very predatory. You know, the red-tailed hawks are very aggressive.
Yeah, they are.
Eat just about anything smaller than them on the ground, you know, or in the air. I think too.
They're definitely not a scavenger. They'll hunt their food.
Oh no.
So, Baked, you want to have M&Ms mixed with peanuts? Is that what you were saying, or do you want peanut M&Ms mixed with peanuts? What were you saying?
Just salted peanuts with M&Ms.
With regular
Yeah.
M&Ms?
Like trail
Yeah.
mix without the raisins.
Yeah, but like
Have you ever
because
tried
when-
this? Have you ever tried that? They come in a yellow bag. They're called M&Ms with peanuts in them. Have you ever tried that one?
Yeah, they're not as good.
Not as good as what?
They don't use so M&Ms doesn't use a good peanut.
Oh, it's the peanuts that of a low quality. You're saying?
Yeah, I think they use a low quality and people don't realize it. I mean, they're masking it with
Higher
chocolate.
quality.
Appreciate your nut connoisseurness.
Yeah, but I mean, I also don't like cashews and almonds, which are regarded as a high quality nut.
So would you
know.
say that it was a different mouthfeel on the nut? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, it's different mouthfeel on all of it.
Have you ever had a Mr. Good bar?
No. I've
Oh,
seen
you
them.
might
They
like.
look,
a
they look
Mr.
like they're
Good
from
bar.
1965.
They're
They
good.
are from 1942.
Yeah.
They're good. They're
Paydays
good.
are
Peanuts
good
and
as shit.
chocolate.
Paydays are good.
Peanuts and chocolate.
Payday. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
One
I
of
love
my
it. I
favorites
had one of those
Check that
today.
is a bar, and that's got raisins. And
What
peanuts
is it?
A chunky bar.
Ooh,
Oh,
1925
wow.
actually.
I heard that.
Mr. Good Bar was made in
They come in a
1925.
silver package and they're
Okay.
square, and you can break them off into squares. And it's peanuts and raisins and chocolate. I think Nestle makes them.
We always end the episode with fucking food.
For real though.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's because we all go eat
I don't
afterwards.
know, now
I
Yeah,
had the
but
monkeys the
now-
whole time.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
we heard.
Like that.
That was my bad, man. I don't even know.
It's okay. I
I should
forget.
have said something sooner.
You are forgiven.
It's gonna adds to the entertainment value.
Oh, there you go, Becca.
Oh, look what Becca's
Or
got. some
chocolate
dark
caramel
chocolate.
almonds. See, that's a high quality.
You know what my
nut.
emergency sugar one is? Right here.
What?
These guys.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Sour stuff.
Oh, now my cheeks are already going.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Those have so much sugar, it's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
They're good. though.
It's all sugar. That's all it is. Corn syrup,
And I
sugar,
love that sour.
little citric acid or whatever.
Mhm. I like sour things too.
Good stuff.
You guys probably liked Warheads.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lemon heads, warheads. I like Sour Patch Kids. That should
Mhm.
be good.
I used to go to Sam's Club growing up with my parents and buy one of those tubs of Warheads in like sixth grade, sixth grade, something like that. Take it to school and hustle them for 25 cents a pop.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
They probably cost, I don't know, probably like 10 cents a pop or something.
I got in
One of
trouble
them
selling candy at
He's
school.
been a dealer from way back. Damn.
I used to sell blow pops.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah, for sure I did. 25 cents a piece, man.
I
Well,
sold.
that was like
is that-
1984 and shit. So that was a good fucking price.
Dan, is that code?
Oh,
is that
yeah.
code word? Is that code word for something?
That's what I
Blow
thought.
pops.
So, geez.
Straight blow pops. I
Tell us
swear.
about it on the late sesh tomorrow.
We'll talk about it. I'll try to stay awake tomorrow.
We'll
I
get
sold
Pimp
some
Man
candy and got
Dan
busted,
on
but
the
my
show.
like for Goalie, my school didn't want us to sell shit. Like it was like it was a no to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I know.
It's
How crazy is
like-
that?
That's because
Unless you were doing it through some little bullshit club where
Yeah.
where they get a
Just
piece,
fundraiser.
where the school gets a piece. I found out. I'm like, well, fuck that.
Cutting into my margins, fool.
For
I
real.
always thought it was funny because they would have like a little shop that you could do. They sold all the healthy shit at the
Yeah.
school room, but you could go one room down and they have this little shop where you could buy all the bullshit and all that money
Yep.
went to school too.
Of course.
Speaking
They
of
didn't
Little
want
Debbie's.
competitors.
Yeah.
Mm.
They didn't want competitors, so they would,
No
Cheers.
competitors.
what's going on? Keep going, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.